All right, Rob, let's get into it. And the NFL, obviously, as you mentioned, wild card weekend. One team that will not be participating, the Houston Texans. Now, they've been in the playoffs 4 of the last 6 years. So really 4 of the previous 5 years. So it's a stunner. It's a shock for them not to make it. And now they had a bad season. Let's just keep it real. Deshaun Watson did his thing. You know, he led the league in passing yards. He was great. He was very good. I mean, you can't blame him for their struggles this season. But now there's speculation, Rob, that he may ask for a trade. And the speculation is based on, it's from Pro Football Talk. And I guess there's rumors that he's already broached they say quietly broached with teammates the possibility of requesting a trade. That's a direct quote from the story. Now, I got to say this. The Texans, there's a report today that came out saying even if Watson does ask for a trade, the Texans will not trade him. So just throwing that out there. But he just signed a 4-year contract. Was like $145 million. So they have all the leverage as far as, you know, having him locked up. They don't have to worry about him leaving in free agency. But, yeah, so that's the situation. What are your thoughts on this?
I don't understand.
One quick. The 4 years, $156 million.
Yeah, I'm lost. I don't understand. Like, I get it. He didn't say it directly. Supposedly, he said it to some teammates. That's how I got to Pro Football, right?
Yep.
Pro Football Talk.com or whatever. But it doesn't make sense. Like, the Texans have been in the playoffs, Chris. What is it, 4 out of the last 6 years?
Yeah, including this one. So 4 of the previous 5.
So 4 of the previous 5 before this year, which got off to a bad start. I don't know if they were 0-4 or 5, and the season collapsed. Their coach
played all right under Bill O'Brien's fired.
Bill O'Brien got fired or whatever, and I get all that. But I just, like, where's he going? He played well. Pro Football Focus had him ahead of Patrick Mahomes.
They say he had the third best season of a quarterback.
Right,
any quarterback.
This year. They got, Chris, some players on defense. We know that, J.J. Watt, right, and some other guys. And I look at this year as like a mulligan. It was bad. It just got off to a bad start or whatever. And I'm shocked that he – why wouldn't he want to stay there and build? They're going to build around him. They know that they have a guy. Give whoever the new coach and general manager. It just seems weird that before any of that, if Bill O'Brien was still in place, maybe, Chris, because you want to get away from him and you don't think that he's the guy to get you to where you want to go. Right. But this whole thing of him asking for, reportedly that he would ask for a trade out of there, I'm surprised by it. I don't get it.
Well, remember this. They just hired their new GM, Nick Casario.
From the Patriots?
Yeah, I mean, he spent 20 years with the Patriots. He was kind of Bill Belichick's right-hand man. So, I mean, Bill O'Brien, of course, was also from the Belichick tree.
All these guys, the 2 guys in Detroit, Bob Quinn and the pencil coach, I mean, they all came from New England. Now
Brian Flores is from New England, in fairness. He's done well. I know,
but I'm just saying, it's over the top.
It's no guarantee that you're gonna be good, is what you're saying. But yeah, I mean, look, Casario has seen how a successful franchise is run, so you would think, maybe that'll be good. And then the coach, there's a vacancy is right there, and from what he has said, Watson seems to want some input. He seems to want to be consulted on who the coach is.
Luck. I mean,
I don't look. If they want to run something by you on their own, this is not basketball. It's a little different.
There's too many guys, Chris, to be different. Like going to him to ask who he wants. I mean, seriously, he's
not gonna know. I mean, these dudes are, football's it's a lot more intricate, man. There's a lot more to it. I don't 100%. Mind, again, you wanting to be, hey, what do you think? They did trade away his best wide receiver last year, so I can get it if he wants to have hear a little something from the front office, what direction they're looking at. But the best thing I think in football is to play. Tom Brady, we know. I mean, the GOAT, or you don't consider him the GOAT, but you got him up there in the conversation. He wasn't involved in stuff like this. Was Joe
we
Montana?
talk about it.
No, you play.
We talk about Aaron Rodgers. They never drafted,
Right.
and how many years?
Got rid of his offensive coordinator.
Right.
He was upset about it. Yeah.
And they never consulted him. They've never drafted a skilled player, offensive player in the first round, and every year he's been there. I mean,
Right.
so that's the norm, I think.
It's different, right. And so here's the thing that I got to give it to Watson on this one, though. I'd be bothered that there's 6 coaching vacancies, Rob. 5 of them are interviewing Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. And the one that isn't is the Houston Texans, at least to this point. Why? Why not even an interview? At least an interview. That's bizarre. Because I would think Bieniemy, you at least want to try him out, or at least consider him with Watson.
But the only thing that I'm wondering is he's been out there, right, the last couple of years. No one hired him, right? Wasn't it last year everybody thought he'd be hired? He didn't get hired. So went back
I'd
to
be
Kansas
shocked
City.
if he doesn't get hired.
Nah, I think he'll get hired this year. But I'm just saying, I don't know, Chris, if there was some conversation or maybe they know he's going somewhere. I don't know. You know what I mean? So I'm with you. You spread your net, you interview as many people as you can, and then you make a decision. So I'm not trying to justify them not. But you don't know if somebody knows something like, it's between these two teams and we're really not going to be in the mix. He's going to pick, like, if they know before they could even get to him. I doubt that that's the case, but that would be the only reason why I would be able to say this doesn't make sense on why they wouldn't at least interview him.
Right. It doesn't make any sense at all, but you're right. But here's the bottom line, Rob. Let's cut to the chase. If I'm running the Houston Texans, I'm Nick Caserio. I'm sorry, Deshaun, you're going nowhere. We didn't just sign you to a 4-year, $156 million deal, the second most ever, to trade you. And you said it, Rob. It's not like he's playing in Jacksonville. And, Jacksonville, maybe they'll be on the come up once they get Trevor Lawrence and they got a lot of money and some other draft picks. But I'm just saying, it's not like he's in this franchise that's been horrible. 4 of the previous 5 seasons in the playoffs.
Right.
He's a great player. They actually still have some pretty good receivers. You mentioned J.J. Watt. They got some guys on the defense, even though their overall defense
Chris,
isn't that good.
Do you remember the Thanksgiving Day game where he shredded the Lions?
Yeah.
What did he put up, 40-some odd?
In fairness to Watson, Rob, it's all speculation. So maybe he doesn't even ask to be traded. But my thing is this. If I'm the Texans, Nick Caserio, I'm sitting down with Deshaun. I'm telling him how big of a part of the franchise he is, and we're not looking to move him. We're going to do everything we can to win. I'm come from a winning culture. I've seen what it means to build a Super Bowl team, and that's what I'm bringing to Houston. That's what I do. And I think, Rob, I got to be throwing this out too. I don't think Deshaun will do this. I don't think he'll ask to be traded yet. It's too early. It's too soon, bro, like KD would say.
It is too soon, and it doesn't make sense. It ain't like you're in an organization that hasn't made the playoffs in 10 years and they got bad management or whatever. This doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. I really wonder about it.
All right, here's something from Ian Rappaport that just came out on Twitter. Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson is extremely unhappy with the organization after owner Kyle McNair informed him he would be involved in the GM and coach hiring process and provide feedback, but then did neither in the hire of GM Nick Caserio, sources say. Well, look, first of all, Kyle McNair shouldn't have told him that.
Watson sounds like he's in the NBA where there's only 3 players that matter.
Well, Rob, I think that's some of this. I think that's some of this, though. I think the younger players in the NFL don't realize the difference. In the NBA, one guy can make
one or two
much
guys
more of a difference, right?
It's totally right.
Totally different.
You're not bringing anybody in without talking to Kawhi and Paul George. You're not bringing anybody in without talking to LeBron and AD. You're not talking to anybody if you're going to bring them to KD and Kyrie. I mean,
Houston
that's
made
the
their
NBA.
hire. They talked to Westbrook and James Harden, even though they traded Westbrook later.
Right, but in the NBA, where only 5 guys start, Chris, and only 2 or 3 guys are the difference makers, right? Let's just be honest. All the other parts are interchangeable.
It's not the same in football. And look, I don't know Deshaun. I never met him. By all reports and stories you hear, he's a great guy. I've seen features on him and, his background and all that. Seems like a really good guy. But this is not the NBA. It just isn't. And I hope he needs to get out of that mindset that he needs to be told about, every trade or hire or whatever. Look, if in a couple years, if it's still really bad for them and not going well, then okay, maybe you can look at moving on. But right now, man, as we said, it's too soon, bro. KD, hit it. Too soon, bro. I'm waiting.
It's too soon, bro.
There you go.
Too soon.
All right. Should Deshaun Watson want to be traded? Your thoughts?
All right. Let's kick it off with, how come I don't have this here? Oh, wow. Okay.
Do I need to just start?
No. I got it right here.
Spouting gibberish.
Brandon in Dallas, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio.
What's up, Chris? What's up, Rob? How are y'all doing tonight?
Doing good. What's up?
How are you?
Doing great, man. Thank you. Now, I don't think Deshaun Watson is crazy for this. I don't fault him for having just taken the contract. It's a $150 million contract. That just doesn't get turned down in the NFL. It doesn't.
No.
But I think he sees the turmoil at the top, the instability at the top of the franchise. Unfortunately, the founder of the Texans, Bob McNair, died a couple years ago, and I believe this is his son running it now. So I think he sees that it's a little bit unstable at the top and wants to get out now rather than
Hey, Brandon, let me say this. Let me jump in. Totally different from he's irked that he's not interviewing the coaches and the GM. That if you don't want to be in an organization because it's bad, you know what I mean, or you feel something, that's fine. But he's irked because he's not interviewing coaches and in the room and deciding who's going to be coach. I'm sorry.
I think that's just one thing. Yeah,
that doesn't make sense to me.
I think you make a good point because they aren't very well run. They brought in like the chaplain from New England, and he's got a lot of say and power and all that. Like, it's a little bit of a mess. But can this guy, Casario, turn things around? I just think it's too early right now, especially when you got 4 years left on your deal. Because here's the thing. Now, can he go out there and make a menace of himself and act up and all that? Yeah, I guess. But he's got 4 years left on his contract. You just signed it, and he's competitive. And if it was so bad, he should have balked at signing it, Chris, because he's the one who's saying that he would have got it elsewhere.
No, but I'm just saying, you could have just said, I don't want to be in the organization. I want to move on. And you need to trade.
You just traded my best receiver.
Okay, so if it was that hell bent and that bad, he didn't have to sign the contract. That's what I'm saying.
And like I said, he's got to go out. He doesn't help himself by going out there and not playing well next year. He's got to ball. So I think, look, they got all the leverage. I wouldn't trade him.
All right, let's go to Andrew in Tennessee. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Andrew?
Not much. What's up, guys? Hope you are having a good day.
Yes, sir.
I look at it like this. Deshaun Watson's an MVP caliber quarterback in the prime of his career. He's stuck because no matter if they did put him up for trade, nobody's going to give up what they're going to want for him. And if they did, if my team gave up what they wanted for him, I'd be mad because you're going to have to give up multiple picks and probably a couple good players. Like, no, nobody's going to do that.
So you wouldn't want him?
Stuck where he's at.
If you wouldn't want him?
No, I'm
you got to
happy
give up
with
so much to
Tannehill.
get him? Okay, but that's your team. But what if your team didn't have a quarterback?
Right, and you had a chance to pick up a guy.
I would probably want him if I was, say, a fan of the Niners or the Redskins. Yeah, I would want him, but what are you going to have to give up to get him?
Yeah. Well,
you're going to have to give up a ton.
Hey,
you're going to have to give up a lot.
You got to give to get. I mean,
Right.
anytime you got to give to get. That's how the trade works.
And the thing
Can we
is,
squeeze
If he was
one
a
more
free
in?
agent- If
Yeah,
he was a free
yeah.
agent and we had to sign him to a big-ass contract, yeah, that'd be one thing. But trading off a bunch of draft picks and then giving up a couple good solid players, no, that's just too much to ask for one guy.
Give us one more, Rob. But here's when you get a quarterback, you need to keep him.
No, I
It's
get it.
not
All right,
easy
real
to
quick.
get that quarterback you need.
Mark in Sacramento, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Mark?
What's going on, gentlemen? I'll be quick. First of all, Rob, I apologize. Yesterday I was so riled up. I forgot to say happy anniversary, man.
Oh.
That's 35 years, right on.
It's all good, man. Thank you.
Yeah. And real quick on this, a couple quick points. First of all, he just signed. They're not going to trade him. Man, they will be in Cap Hill until Rob
Right,
works
for
another
years.
35 years. Yeah, they ain't trading.
The cap hit wouldn't be that bad. They $21 million of dead money and a $15 million cap hit, and then
I think they already got some dead money on the books, so they can't take on too much more of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? They're not. They got some problems there. But number two, you got to draw a line sooner or later, and I don't think he should be in there doing this just yet because he just signed. Give it a year or two.
Right.
But what he should be saying is, I've been the most hit quarterback the last 3 or 4 years in the league. Y'all better get me some offensive linemen so I don't end up like Andrew Luck, and you better go find me another DeAndre Hopkins. That's what I'd say.
All right, there it is.
There's
Thank
nothing
you,
wrong
Mark.
with that, asking for help. But
I agree.
But I don't know about who the coach is, Chris, and being in on the general manager. I don't know
And
how
you're young, too,
How
Rob.
how
He's still
versed are
young.
the players on knowing who's in front office people, Chris? Do
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Seriously.
I seriously doubt that they know much about that. Not that they don't. It's just
I'm not saying they don't know anything, but
Right, no.
I'd be hard. You're a ball player. You know who the
right.
general
You're not
managers
paying that
are?
much
Do you know
attention to
Chris?
that.
I don't know.
You're right. You're absolutely. And he's young. He's young. Take your time. It's just way too early for that.